Hey, communicators. Today I want to talk about how to cope with communication apprehension. In the textbook and in our lecture slides, there are different techniques that is suggested on how we can manage and control our fear and anxiety with communication. Starting off with the first one way that we can manage our communication apprehension is systematic desensitization. This focuses on coping with the physical responses to apprehension. These responses are things like sweaty hands, shaky voice, clenching jaw, all of these responses that we get when we feel nervous or anxiety. What we want to do in this technique is focus how to control our body and our breathing. In this specific strategy, what individuals are taught are how to relax their muscles and control our breathing. Because when we're presenting a presentation, sometimes we forget that we need to inhale and exhale because that helps us control our emotions, helps us manage our responses, and overall makes us a better public speaker. The way I always thought about systematic desensitization is that it focuses on calming our body, and our body is consistent of different systems like the digestive system, the endocrine system, the nervous system. So that's how you can remember it. Because with systematic desensitization, the motto is if we relax the body, we can calm the mind, which transitions us into the second way that we can manage our communication apprehension, which is cognitive restructuring. In this specific process, what we are aiming to do is change our negative thoughts into positive outcomes. This is something you probably try to do on a daily basis. It's a method that helps cope with the mental harms of our communication apprehension, because we know when we have that negative self-talk, it can really influence our behaviors and hold us back, which is not what we want as everyday communicators. With cognitive restructuring, it's a 3-step process. With the first step, what you got to do is identify the negative self-statements that you ultimately affects your speech performance. One probably self-statement that you have delivered to yourself in the past is, I'm going to make a mistake in this presentation and everybody is going to laugh at me. Just know nobody's going to laugh if you make one mistake in your speech. After you identify that negative self-statement, you need to analyze it for errors in logic. Going back to the statement, I'm going to make a mistake in my presentation. Yeah, you probably are going to make a mistake, but you're also a human being, and human beings make mistakes every single day. That's a huge error. We can't expect perfection when you're delivering a presentation. That's impossible. I'm never going to expect it, so you shouldn't either. And the third step is asking the speaker to create an alternative positive statement and substitute that statement for the negative one. I'm going to make a mistake in my presentation, but I will overcome it and learn from this experience. I'm going to make a mistake in my speech, but I am human and it's okay to make mistakes. Once we realize and kind of figure out that there's error in the statements that we give ourselves, we learn that we can do so much more and our mental ability expands. So change those negative statements into positive ones. And the third way that we can cope with their communication apprehension is through a concept called skills training. So with skills training, it's about learning concepts and tools about a specific subject to feel more confident in the material. You probably feel anxious and nervous about public speaking because you don't know anything that has to do with public speaking. You don't know any of the concepts, you don't know the organizational structures, you don't know anything about delivery, which is totally fine. Nobody expects you to know this material. This is why you're taking that class, so you can gain as much experience as possible and use it in your everyday life. So our class is based off of skills training, because right now, you might know very minimal of public speaking, but at the end of the semester, you will gain these skills and you will gain this practice, and it might make you feel more confident when you deliver a presentation. The way I want you to think about this is the first time that you were probably driving, you got nervous, you got scared because you didn't know anything about driving. You didn't know anything about the gas pedal and the brake pedal. It's the same thing with public speaking. You didn't know what an attention getter statement was. You didn't know how to transition properly. But once you learn these skills and these concepts, It'll make you feel more relaxed and more confident in your presentations. And a couple of more tips that I want to let everybody know about how to manage this communication apprehension is selecting a familiar speech topic. Don't pick something that you don't want to talk about because we can see it. I'd rather you choose something that you're passionate and eager to inform an audience on. Second is always over preparing for a presentation. When in doubt, plan for everything. You want to visualize a positive experience? Remember, we're all about changing those negative statements into positive outcomes. And last but not least, you're going to learn from your mistakes and experiences. Whether it's a great experience or a not so great experience, I urge you to take what you've learned and use it to become and grow each time you get in front of an audience. Please email me if you have any other questions. I'm eager to help you out.